What is up, everybody? Rusty Rose coming at you again with a brand new YouTube video for you today. In this video, what I'm going to be covering is 3 different builds I use on my Warlock for different scenarios for 2v2s, 3v3s, and rated battlegrounds. So let's go ahead and get started in that for you right now. Alrighty guys, so for the first build that I'm going to be covering is for single target damage in 2s. You can also use this build in 3s as well if you're playing with like a Shadow Priest and a healer, but for the most part you want to use this build in 2s. This is going to be single target damage, and this is how it's going to be looking here for you. So for the first 15 bracket is going to be Malefic Grasp. That way when you channel Drain Soul, your damage over time effects deal 25% increased damage to the target, which is going to help out because your Drain Soul is going to be what you're using after you get all your dots and UAs on that target to really burst them down. For the level 30 bracket, we're going to go for Contagion. You deal 15% increased damage to targets affected by your UA. So that is going to be another huge part of single target damaging in this build. You're going to spam UA on your target for the kill, and then you're going to do an increase of 15% damage onto that target once you have your UA casted on. For the third bracket, I usually go Mortal Coil or Demonic Circle. It's really up to you. Demonic Circle can be kind of situational for you to get out of really bad situations. If you have melee cleaves on you, or if you have casters just trying to hit you, you can LOS them with Demonic Circle. For Mortal Coil, you can use it if you want to instant fear, and also you get 20% of maximum health back from that. So it can be both of them. Howl of Terror, don't really use that in 2s. So it's really up to you. Demonic Circle is probably the better route to go, honestly, just so you can get out of bad situations and LOS casters or get those slowing effects off yourself as well. Now for the level 60 bracket, Soul Harvest is what you're going to want to use. It's going to increase your damage and your pet's damage by 20%. This is going to help you when you're focusing a single target. You use Soul Harvest. After you get some UAs on them, Drain Soul deals 20% increased damage, and your pet does increase damage as well. So you're going to want to use Soul Harvest. Down here for the 75 bracket, Demon Skin always, no matter what. For the level 90 bracket, you're going to want to use Service to get additional kicks, additional interrupts from your succubus. Definitely what you're going to want to go for. Now down here for the level 100 bracket, you're going to want to use Death's Embrace for the execute dots. Now this is huge for single target damage. Once your target is below 35% health, you deal up to 50% increased damage on them with your dots, and also Drain Soul. So this is going to be the biggest part of this build for 2s. You want to make sure you have Death's Embrace on. I right now have my ring, so it's covering that up, and I have Siphon Life, but Death's Embrace is what I choose when I'm going into a 2, or if I'm in 3s with a Shadow Priest and I use this build, Death's Embrace all day. Now let's go ahead and jump into these honor talents for this build as well. It is laid out just like how you see it here. I use the Gladiator's Medallion just because I prefer it. You guys, whatever you prefer in this trinket row, you can use. Mind Quickness is what you're always going to want to use to increase haste by 6%. And then down here for the curses, you're going to want to use Curse of Fragility. That way, when you're going for the kill, you place Curse of Fragility on your target, and it really helps kill that target. It kills them a lot faster when you use that. But you could use these other curses if you have, you know, a DK Warlock, or I'm sorry, not a Warlock, a DK or DH, or even a Warrior on you. You can use Curse of Weakness to reduce the target's physical damage by 25%, or if you're going against a Mage, Caster, or even a healer and you want to reduce their healing, you can use Curse of Tongues as well. Down here for these guys, I'm going to use Nether Ward to reflect kicks, interrupts, and other spells as well that are reflectable that I can shoot right back to the casters or other players. That's why I use Nether Ward. Down here, I'm going to use Soul Shatter. Soul Shatter is huge in this build because in the opening of your arena, you're going to put corruption on both targets. Soul Shatter So you get those soul shards back, and you get a 10% increase in haste for 8 seconds. So that's really going to help you out. It's going to give you a little bit increase in damage, and it's really going to be good for you there. Down here, you're going to want to use Rotten Decay. Each time your drained soul deals damage, it increases the duration of your UA, Corruption, and Agony on the target by 1 second. So this is the option you're going to want to choose for this build as well. So that's how the honor talents look for this build. Let's go and jump into the other build for you guys next. Alright, now that the single target build is done and over with, let's go ahead and cover the threes, Dot'em, and Rod'em build that I like to call it. This build's going to be targeted for threes whenever you're playing with a healer and another DPS. You're just going to want to focus on getting in there and dotting everything up. So that build is going to be generating for threes for you guys. So let's go and get there and see what we got. So first off, you're going to go for Wrath and Agony. That way your Agony damage now ramped up to 15 stacks. Second one, you're going to go for Absolute Corruption. And then you're also going to use Demonic Circle, because in this build, you're going to always be on the move. You're going to always be wanting to get out of the way, because if you start getting melee cleaves or if you start getting hit by melee, you're going to die pretty quick. So you're going to want to use Demonic Circle at all times with this build, no matter what. Now for the level 60 bracket, you're going to go Phantom Singularity to give yourself an additional dot, some additional damage on the target, and also some self-healing for yourself as well. That will really help you out, so definitely go for Phantom Singularity with this build. And then also Demon Skin no matter what, just like I said earlier. Grimoire of Service no matter what, just like I said earlier. And Siphon Life is what you're going to want to use with this build. Another additional dot for you to keep on all your targets, and some more self-healing as well to help keep yourselves alive. For the honor talents, we'll go ahead and jump into this one for you. For the honor talents, it's pretty similar. It's not really too much different. There's just a few changes here. I'm going to stick with the Gladiator's Medallion as well. Mind Quickness stays the same. Curses, situational. I like to use Curse of Frag. But again, if you're going against melee, Curse of Weakness. If you're going against casters or a healer, Curse of Tongues. Down here, Nether Ward is what I always use, because I'm going to reflect interrupts and polymorphs, kicks, all that good stuff. Now, this is where it changes up for you here a bit. You're going to want to use Nightfall, because you want to make sure that you're going to be spreading those seeds of corruption. So Nightfall is what you're going to want to go for. Seeds of corruption is what you're going to be dumping all of your shards into. So Nightfall is the way to go. And instead of Rotten Decay, you're going to go Gateway Mastery, because your gates are going to be very important to you to get out of the way, for your teammate to get out of the way, and you're just going to want to always be on the move. So you're going to want to go Gateway Mastery. Alright, so this is the third build that I use for Rated Battlegrounds and Random Battlegrounds. This is going to be a dot and AoE build as well. So this is going to be just focusing on putting your dots out there and casting Seed of Corruption to get a lot of cleave damage and a lot of AoE damage on your targets. So first off, we're going to go with Wrath and Agony. Absolute Corruption stays there. Demonic Circle. So the seeds is what I use preferably. I mean, this category you guys can actually dip in there and see which ones you guys prefer, but I like sow the seeds because I like spending my shards on my Seed of Corruption, and it's going to get out there and just hit 2 additional nearby enemies and really do a lot of damage and do a lot of cleaving damage, so that's what I go for. Soul Harvest, the only downfall with that one is it can get purged off you, but it can help you out. 20% increased damage and Phantom Singularity, self-healing, and some dot damage out there for you as well, but I, like I said, prefer sow the seeds. Down here, Demon Skin always stays there. Grimoire of Service always stays there. And then Death's Embrace is what I'm going to use for this build as well, because we're going to be going for those execute dots in this build. Plus, we're going to be using dots on everybody, so once they get below 35% health, those dots are going to start ticking at a 50% increased damage rate to really help kill those targets. Now, in the honor talents for this build, what is going to go on with this one? Everything is really going to stay the same, to be honest with you. The only thing you want to make sure you use here is Nightfall, because of the sow of the seeds. You're going to be spending those Seed of Corruptions on targets. you will get a chance at 100% increased cast time on Seed of Corruption, so you be able to spam Seed of Corruption like no other to really do a lot of damage when people are grouped up together in raided battlegrounds in the middle. That's going to be the biggest part of this build. Tons of AoE damage, super fun, and you top charts like crazy because of that Seed of Corruption. So dump your shards into Seed of Corruptions onto targets that are grouped up, and you'll really see that damage meter go out of control for you guys. Down here, you're going to want to use Rot and Decay. You don't really got to worry about Gateway Mastery in rated battlegrounds or random battlegrounds too much, so Rot and Decay is what you're going to want to go for. And that is that build for you guys. That's going to be the dot and AoE build for rated battlegrounds and random battlegrounds, and it's super fun build. I love this build a lot, and I love playing it in rated battlegrounds. Alright guys, well thank you so much for stopping by. That is it for today. I'm going to wrap this video up for you. Hopefully it helped you guys out. If you have any questions or if you have any comments, please feel free to put those down below in the comments section. And also please hit that like button if you like this video or if it helped you out. And also subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be releasing more World of Warcraft content on YouTube. And also I will leave a link down in the description below to my Twitch channel. That way you guys can also come join me during my streams at any time and ask me any questions. I'll be able to answer them for you there on the stream real time. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much, and I am out. You guys take care. Till next time.